Hi there. I'm going to give you a few life lessons that most people don't talk about. Now, in my existence, the past 30 years, I've learnt a lot, and it starts way back to when I was 5 years old. So I remember being inside a mosque with my dad and trying to go to the section where people are making ablution, washing their hands, washing their face just before prayer. And I remember my dad telling me, "Hey, go over there and check if it's crowded." And I got up. Bear in mind, I was 5 years old. I got up. I went to the section, and just outside, like before I went inside, I froze. I froze because there were so many people. I felt belittled. I felt like I was suffocating. It just felt like something was wrong internally, and I ran back to my dad, just right next to his comfort, and he asked me, "Is it full?" I didn't even reply back. That's how overwhelmed my system was. And I just kept quiet. And at this time, I had, of course, no idea, knowing, all the emotions I'm facing, everything that's bubbling up inside. Like, why is life feeling like this? I was so young. All the other kids are running around, playing, screaming, making noise. But that's natural, right? The behavior isn't natural. But the understanding as to not looking further into it, like what's wrong with my nervous system, what's wrong with the way I think, is this natural? Those questions come later on in my life. But that was the start and the first memory I have of anxiety. Now I've been dealing with anxiety for majority of my life, and from that key moment of 5 years old, it washed away because I kept playing around as kids do, but each time I went up to a stage or went to talk to a person in authority, I'd feel the same blockage in my system. I'd feel like I'm panicking. I'd feel like I'm gasping for air. Why am I built like this? What's wrong with me? So, fast forward to my life, 2011. I remember, experimenting with a few drugs that I shouldn't have. And it actually set the tone for the remainder all the way up until today, basically. So from 2011 all the way to 2025, 26, I've been living in complete anxiety. All the conversations from my friends, from my family, from the outings that I used to do before, like I've had it before, but 2011 took it to another level. Now, what's wrong with my system? What am I doing wrong? The same people that I did the experiment with in 2011 were fine. But for me, for some reason, I just couldn't escape it. I fell into a pit of overthinking. I fell into depersonalization. That's when your nervous system is so overwhelmed, so much that you can't experience life like other people. You feel numb. You feel distorted. You feel completely detached from reality. So that's another wave and another layer of stress on my system. And I didn't really understand why I'm facing this. Of course, the life choices I made along the way, like 2011, that's something I did to myself. But before that, why was I prone to anxiety? I mean, there's a lot of things here in the picture. It could just be the way that I'm just hyper aware of everything, that I'm just so easy to pick up different energies, you can say. I'm easily adaptive to environments, but deep down inside, I'm very judgmental of myself and very self aware and self conscious. And they play a major part in the whole world of anxiety and overthinking. So, I understand there's a lot of you out there that might be going through that same phase of my life, whether that's the first time round of discovering that you can't deal with pressure, you can't deal with communicating with people and staying present, feeling like you're running, feeling like you're out of breath, just something you can't pinpoint, but your physiology is completely all over the place. Well, you're not alone. I dealt with that. I felt it, and I always felt like there's so much more to me, but why is life holding me back? I didn't see the bigger picture. I did not see the bigger picture. The bigger picture that I'm talking about is, for example, today. What am I doing that's different to, the real Ali back in 2015? Well, back then, I had no sense of direction. I thought, live every day as it comes, as I should. But I wasn't dealing with the root issue of my thinking. So anxiety, we can't rid it. It's part of who we are. Fear is part of our system. But it's up to us to learn what it is that we're experiencing. That makes all the difference. So once you understand this is natural, this is nothing to be ashamed of. This is just your body, your nervous system reacting to your experiences, carrying them on from 1 hour to the next hour, from one day to the next day, 1 year to the next year. And if you never slow down, understand, show gratitude that this is my body, there's no shame in it, I'm going to overcome this, and I'm going to not see it as an enemy. That's another big step I took from early on when I was doing the whole, understanding everything and trying to get to the other side of the tunnel. So, anxiety is uncomfortable when you're experiencing it. But let me tell you something. Once you overcome it, your life will change completely. I feel like it's a bit unfair now because I know the discomforts in life and I've lived right through them. Such a massive period in my life where I avoided it, I ran away from it, I did anything in the day, I did, just getting away from it, whatever it was. But then again, once I faced the discomfort, understood my body, spoke to people about it, opened up about it, it changed everything. And now I can say that I love life right now. Like, I appreciate everything around me. I appreciate the way I think. I appreciate my experiences because now I see things from a different lens. Instead of before seeing things from a perspective of what is this person talking about? What is that person doing? Being judgmental. Now I see it from an emotionally regulated perspective and I'm more in depth within myself. It just oozes natural confidence now. And that's so ironic because at one point I had no confidence due to everything I was experiencing. So to reach the level that I've reached now, there's so much involved, basically starting off with slowing down, staying present, and seeing everything as a building block. See, I could have viewed this from a completely different angle. I could have said, why me? And I did it at one point in my journey. But once I reached the point where nobody's going to come save me, and that's true. Let me just put it out there for you guys. Nobody's going to come save you unless you take the first steps. If you felt like what I felt at the beginning, then it's time to get up. And with me, I can give you a lot of the tips and a lot of the help that you might need just to take those first few steps. So I see everything as a gem. Anxiety still hasn't gone. There's more anxiety common in life, There's responsibilities. There's moments that are uncertain. All of these things will naturally cause and arise your inner, curiosity / anxiety. But it's just about your relationship with these things. And that's exactly why I said, do not make anxiety an enemy that you need to get rid of. It's part of you, but you just don't understand it now. That's fine. You will understand it one day. So stay courageous. Stay interested in your own development. Stay present and see everything as a learning curve. They literally say life is all about learning and learning never finishes. That's the beauty in all of this. Anxiety is one of the biggest lessons that will prove how strong you are. And I can see each and one of you out there that are suffering that you will make through this. You will make through this, literally. But then again, there are people that live with this for most part of their life because they never slow down. They never think to understand, hey, what's really going on behind all of these layers? Who really am I? I mean, you're not anxiety. You're not your feelings. You're not your emotions. Overcome it by going deep down and diving in it. So I'm going to be taking you through a journey and I'm going to make you understand why your system is reacting like this. So please come along with me in a journey if you relate in any way, and I'll take you through and we'll make it out there together. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for my next video. Take care.